I take pride in the work that I've done, and I take pride in the product that I've put into the world. And those are my children, my nephews, my godsons. Those are the people that I've invested in, and I've made some damn good investments. The only purpose for investing is for a return, and I feel good that the return is coming back to see young men in positions of teacher and community organizers and father and homeowner and husband. It's a beautiful thing to see the growth and the progress, and each of them know that their job is not done.
My name is Gregor Martin.
My name is Travis Foster.
My name is Jim St. Germain.
Let's see, I met Mr. Walton in my middle school 8th grade class. All right, so we came in the classroom. We was all sitting down. We was horsing around. He came in to introduce himself. He's like, "Oh, my name is just Carlos Walton," and I threw a paper right at him. And I told him to shut up. And then he just got up. He went in the back and grabbed me up and put me in the closet in the door. And then the rest of the boys, they got up and ready to tussle with him. So after school, we went to gang him up in school in the hallway. So I went off his neck, the rest of them jumped on him, and then we're just all fighting in the middle of the hall. He got a couple of hits off of us, a couple of tassels around, but all done after we all finished the fight. And you know, we went out the schoolyard. He was chasing us out of the schoolyard and came back the following day. He was in class. He closed the door, locked it, and then we just all kind of sat down. We just had pretty much a conversation after that point, and then I guess that's where the respect factor kind of came in at that point with him. And since then, you know, throughout the 8th grade years, the only class that I went to, I skipped every other class except math. I guess it was a different feeling to have a male figure look out for you in that way. So that's what kind of changed my mind a little more, how I perceive and how I did things. Started going to his manhood training program, and that has started giving me, I guess, more confidence in myself as a man, knowing more about my history as being a black man. So those things became powerful. He kept us going. He changed my mind and my mindset, how I think. So now I work for one of the biggest cable companies. I do coordinator, so I coordinate ops, building new projects going up. Don't change our raw nature. It's what we need as young men, especially in the city. So just don't change that raw nature.
I met Carlos Walton in '93 at junior high school 265. He was my health teacher in 8th grade. I met him. Me and my friend, we stole a girl book bag, and I was in her book bag. I was a lookout. My friend was in the book bag, and he came up behind us, and he said, "What are you doing?" And we ignored him. He asked again. We told him, you know, like, more or less, get out of here. So he took the book back from us. 5 minutes later, I walked up to the class, and he was the teacher, and that's how our relationship started. From that day, he used to call on me in class. He knew I don't like to talk, but he'll still call on me and ask me questions. Eventually, our relationship grew. We started hanging out after school. He took a little bit of time out of his busy schedule to take me and a few other guys, 3 of us. We used to go to car shows. We used to hang out a lot. We used to go out to dinner. I mean, I kind of say he's probably the first person that used to take us to restaurants outside of Goodness Steaks. That was a popular restaurant we had in Brooklyn at the time. First, you'd be like, why the hell is he hanging with us? He ain't got no friends. but then you appreciate it as you go. Like, we graduated from junior high school, and you know, usually go out with your mother. We went out with him. We went out to eat with him. So yeah, that was my introduction to Mr. Ward. But we learned a lot from him, even in that short period of time. That first year, he taught us a lot of things that a lot of teachers didn't really take the time out to show you. The impact he had a positive impact. But like he was my 8th grade teacher, and we still maintained the relationship outside of 8th grade. So that was a beautiful thing. And he just showed you how to be a better individual and be a better person, and to just continue to move forward. And he bring out the best in people. Like, some people, you know, they come to your life and they there for a short period of time, but he stick around, and if ever I'm having a hard time, I can always call on him. People in my family love him that don't even know him, just the fact that the things he did for us and other people in our community. Because it's not just us. Like, he might just be close to us, but he still helped a lot of other people. You know, he went to other people's houses, and he knocked on doors, and checked on the kids and he cared. Thank you for caring. The community appreciates you because you did it in Fort Greene, you did it in Albany, you did it in Crown Heights. And all these people that I just met through him are good people from different neighborhoods that he touched. And he just got a positive effect on.
One of the main reasons that I fell in love with my husband was his character, his heart, his love for the children. That let me know the way that he loved these children, that he would love my son. And it just amazed me on how these kids connected with him, how they just were so comfortable to open up with him. He mainly focuses on his manhood training initiative, which is for young men. However, with being in the schools, we find a lot of young women that come and like to connect with him also. One of them sitting here is Keisha. Carlos worked out of Westside High School, and he met her and a lot of other kids there. And as you can see, these kids come, they begin to become a part of our lives. And I'm good with that.
If anybody ever meets Carlos, he just always takes on that dad role. Like me and my friends, we would just, be walking around the school and he would just tell everybody, oh, these are my baby girls, make sure you watch out for them and stuff. And the relationship just went from there.
Did you think that was something that would happen with someone that you meet as a teacher in your school?
No, I didn't think that we would make this relationship with you guys being my second family. But I'm glad that it came that way because I never had my dad in my life, but he's honestly like a father figure to me. When I walk down the aisle, I want him to be the one to walk down.
Oh my God, I don't think he knows that.
I met Mr. Walton when I was about 12 years old. I was a student at MS61, also known as Leffers, and he was the dean at the school at the time. And a lot of the administrators and different people who worked in the school and some of my teachers, they couldn't really reach me. I was kind of, I was a little far off. Walton had a presence. He was really the only one who knew how to get my attention. He was a man's man, so when he speaks, not only that he was not playing with you, that he wanted the best from you, but he also had a balance where the level of caring coupled with the love that he has for you as a young man was able to get through me. So at first, because of my struggles, I was kicked out of my house and I was in the streets. I was involved in a lot of different things, smoking, drinking, just running the streets wild. He was able to step in and pick me up. Him and I went through a lot of different ups and downs, a lot of different struggles throughout my journey. But he has always been there for me. He's always been present. So at some point, unfortunately though, he kind of had to step back, step away from me because I was putting his job at risk. Unfortunately, I ended up going into the juvenile justice system for years and we had lost connection when I got locked up. We connected at the end of my journey while I was in the juvenile justice system, and he has been a huge presence in my life. I don't make any decisions nowadays without consulting with him at first. He has been there for me. He has been the emotional, the mental, father support that I need in my life. So that's really our journey. And again, as I said now, he called me Big Son, and I call him Father because that's what we are to each other. That's the relationship we have. But what makes me the most proud is to know that I'm not the only young brother who get that genuine love from him. This is something that you can walk in any downtrodden neighborhood throughout Brooklyn or New York City. If you mention his name, you'll find countless of young men who will step up and tell you what he means to them and how much he has given to them and how his heart belongs to those of us that nobody else wants to love. So if there's one thing I can say to him, I know it's not easy to stay committed and stay consistent to those of us who everybody else give up on, and for some reason he has been able to work and consistently give everything he has to those of us that nobody else want to be there for. So my thing to him would be that we appreciate him, and he has closed more funeral homes than he probably can possibly think of. I believe that a lot of funeral homes and a lot of jails are not doing so well because of his presence in a lot of our lives. So that's what I would say to him.